All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies, and welcome in to the Monday edition of A Different View. Excuse me. This was your boy KJ's birthday weekend. Y'all, this is the day after your boy KJ's birthday weekend, and an awesome weekend it was. Got a chance to do some rope climbing. Nothing like being in your 40s to wake you up to certain things that you got to go do something new. So, shout out to my friends, my wife, folks that were there. And enjoyed the time with me. It's important, y'all, to hold on to people. You know, if I could just stop for a second, y'all know me how I like to go on about things. If I could just stop for a second, just shoot some talk with y'all for a minute, just have a conversation, as I like to say. Get rid of the mentality that causes you to be petty. We've gone over that term before. The things in life that you think you hold dear, when faced with the truth that is death, the cessation of life in this reality. And maybe some people maybe some people are okay with it, maybe some people aren't. I mean, to each their own. There's nothing more vital than life on this planet and the appreciation of it. You know, that was another thing I had the chance to do this week, is just be out amongst nature. Lord, how this sick system built robs people from being in touch with the creation around them. And the energy that comes from there. I know everybody want to poo-poo a whole lot of stuff, man, but I tell you what. You get yourself out there under the sun. Even in the rain, in the snow, y'all. There is power in nature, given from a powerful creator. Sustained by a powerful creator. That's just the truth, man. The energy that comes from it is something else. So, again, thanks to everybody who came out and said, hey, and, all that kind of stuff. One time for your friends and family that are down with you through the journey, man. Because life is a trip. Let me tell you what, man. And each time, it's another thing. Shout out to everybody's birthday. This is March. This is springtime. One time. Hey, okay? We here, y'all. We here. We're ready to go. Because we realize we have a job to do. See, that's the thing sometimes. You start getting stuck in this thing. I was talking to a friend of mine, having a conversation on purpose. And we don't blow up anybody's spot unless they say it's okay. So if this person is listening, shout out to you. You're a smart person. You got a lot there. Just shout out. Good friend of mine. There's a lot there that when people are searching, Lord, when you start searching. See, I know because I was there. I am there. See, I told y'all this podcast, this is real time here. This is real time. I want to quote a hip hop artist, give it to me raw, man. Okay, we here, y'all. We here, And when you start questioning, see, again, it's okay to follow that status quo, but Lord, when a person starts questioning the life around them, man, don't give them They're going to come out and say it, man. I'm feeling good because it's my birthday, man. Don't give them the BS answer, y'all. Okay? Don't give them the garbage answer. Give them the truth from your heart. We talked about this with suicide. You don't know when the tick-tock stops ticking, guys and gals. I mean, this is for real. Don't get hung up on that person's nails or that person's hair or this person's muscles. He could run this. They play games or video games, board games this way. Just a whole lot of gut. They had this, that, and the other to say about this one. What is somebody's word? Again, unless we're talking real. See, again, we were talking about the Anti-Defamation Federation Association, and again, this false, and to everybody their own. Okay, because I'm not minimizing when people are actually hurt by the actions of other people, but we're talking about where it's what I like to call pseudo. You're pseudo offended. You're hiding a different thing, and this is what you're using because you just don't want to do better as far as interacting with people better. And again, when it comes to this is what the whole podcast is about, y'all. We're gonna get into some things here in a minute on parenting. This is an ongoing series. This will be part number 9. And maybe we'll make it to 10, keep it even. On an ongoing series about relationships. That whole little thing we just finished talking about with my birthday and all this about relationships. Another thing that happened this weekend, I had a chance to, again, y'all know I'm a wrestling fan, sports fan. We're gonna sprinkle it in, y'all, because it's not just only about life. See, again, each one of the things of life is a relationship, right? The sports fan to the various sports media you watch. See, again, we've broken down these words, right? So again, if you want to know, re-reference, listen to other episodes, re-reference when we talk about media, again, how you get information out. Sports is a way of getting a certain type of information out to folks. So you have fans with a certain media. Music is another media, being a fan. And let me pause here and just say a thing, y'all, because of the reality we have made where we become too territorial with music. I want to be very clear on this platform and say it, we become too territorial with music. Okay? Everybody, every culture over the planet has given to certain things, certain groups in higher numbers than others, right? That's fine. That does not mean we do this kind of Charlie Brown exclusion party, like you can't kick the football, Charlie. Really? Why Charlie can't kick the football? Why is it only for, Lucy, Linus, and the rest of the Peanuts gang, but Charlie Brown can't kick the football? See, there again, in the stuff you watch, guys, pay attention to the stuff you watch because there's always a lesson to learn. We're in school, y'all. Class is in session. I know you send your kids off to school, and for the parents and stuff, you got a chance to party and woo, and to an extent, that's cool. That's cool. You need a break. We understand, right? But again, let's not go too high. You're still in school yourself. We're still learning. So, it's just some things. So another one of those things, talking about the things I like to watch, wrestling. So we got a chance to see AEW Revolution. Very good pay-per-view, very hard-hitting pay-per-view. The kind of pay-per-view I like. For wrestling in general, which Lord knows, right? The real stuff that goes on behind the scenes. We talked about this stuff with Vince McMahon. Now you got Stephanie McMahon, allegedly. Again, we won't put these words alleged out there because folks have a problem. People got a problem. They got to hide their sins, y'all. And again, another one of these cover-ups when you're talking about the criminal justice system and everything. Everything is very geared to hiding crimes because guess what? We're living in one. Whoo, man, we live on a land that is a constant crime because the high heavens has seen stealing and very little recompense to it. I know, y'all. I know, like, KJ, man, why you gotta go there again? Hey, this is what it is. In certain levels of stuff, you've opened Pandora's box, and so now you got in wrestling, where again again there's that escape for a couple minutes. You get to see some guys, and I know everybody talk about that fake thing. Let me be honest about the fake thing for a minute with wrestling. Yeah, the outcomes are for real. Are not for real. Are for real from the standpoint of before you go out for the match, they've already made the decision of who is going to win the match. Okay, we get that, right? And that's where everybody's mind turns off because, you're not living in a simulation. Life is very real, right? That's okay. See, again, guys, we went back in the day and we would, a couple episodes, go back, because we've been dropping knowledge this whole time, y'all. When people's imaginations, they let it slip. They let it go. They let it go. They need that real life. They believe that, life is real. You in a rigged game every day you wake up, man. What are you talking about? Oh, they mean to rob from you every day you wake up, every moment you go to sleep. So before you start talking about how fake wrestling is, just to consider, just a thought to consider, okay? Because again, folks think they making their own moves and stuff like that. You're moving in somebody else's system. So how much realness is you doing? See, again, the people they initially went to rob and kill from, it didn't end there. Oh boy, every law, and we sit there and we scramble. Like again, we're gonna come up just to talk about this for a second before I go back into that wrestling thing, because it was a cool emotional moment. Sting's last match. Okay, for those who know the wrestler Sting, Scott Borman, I think is his real name. If I mispronounced it, missaid it, y'all correct me, shout me out. Again, it is the comments of the viewer. Again, I like to say viewer because not only do they use the word view when they go to describe who's watching podcasts or listening to podcasts. See, again, you can watch things with your mind. Words and phrases, guys, you gotta. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, I seen this thing online, I guess, was 60 Minutes last night while I was all caught up in that wrestling pay-per-view. I guess Moms for Liberty are real all ticked off about sexual explicit stuff being taught to kids in school. Again, we're going to get back into an earlier conversation. You want to talk to me about when and where that certain, the time, right? The age that the kids need it. You better teach your babies about sex. And they use the term in this article explicit. Because see, again, people don't, the word illiterate, can we just talk about a thing for a minute, the word illiterate? More people are illiterate than what you think. I know they reserve that thing for all the different ethnicities of the world that are not. See, again, I heard this in a podcast, which is I like listening and watching stuff that spurs on thought, guys. I don't need the everyday doldrum. I'm done on that, right? So this idea that it's not just set up for one group of people. The thing has spread to everybody and has touched everything. So you reserved it for you black folks. You reserved it for your native folks. You didn't want them reading and writing. Did you know, guys, illiterate's got very little to do with the inability to read and write? Let's look at the etymology of it real quick. Early 15th century. Okay, so now you're talking 1400s. Again, this time period, y'all, man, there's a lot of moving in the world to get it to where it is right now. And mainly from Europe. Okay. When y'all stop getting mad, man, what you're seeing is balance at work. That's it. Early 15th century, so you're talking your 1400s up to 1500. Uneducated. Stop right there for a second. Because this is the point. The idea is on any subject you are uneducated in. Now, of course, the inability to read or write will affect your education. And we could break down the word education. I'm not going to right now. Again, we just look at what they got you. Again, our words, folks. That's why I'm saying learn other languages and stuff like that. Find out what the other nations of the world is talking. Because this mess from England is just... I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. They got a whole language built off Greek and Latin. other languages that are in Germanic languages, so coming from certain places inside Europe. We've done that whole there's Indonesian speech and this whole thing with Asiatic type speech. Guys, learn some. Don't let them do it to you. That's all I'm saying. Again, each their own. So now, uneducated, unlearned, unlettered, old school words, right? That's coming from the Latin illiterus or illiterus, turus, illiteratus. Another one of them is ignorant or without culture. And again, when we speak on the N-word, which you rarely hear me use on this podcast, if at all, which is why I say Negro. And again, the world is full of a lot of bought and house Negroes you get of various cultures. These folks, the price they sold their soul for is horrible. And y'all, the quality of people you're around, it's a thing. I got no more time for it in my life, guys. I got no more time for it. There's things in this life mean to do you real harm, and you need people around you that are very, it's cool to have fun and whatnot, but your mind has got to be illuminated on a certain level. Sorry, man, it's not what to rob that thing from, I think The Last Jedi. Luke Skywalker sees Rey Skywalker, and he just lets her know this is not it's not going to end the way you think it is. It's not going to go the way you think it is. Same thing in life, y'all. So again, and just put that illiterate thing to bed, man. And watching this pay-per-view, it was just so very, very good to see the emotion around Sting, man. To see Ric Flair there. They've had great matches going back to the late 80s. NWA wrestling, I believe, is where Sting broke in. Maybe other promotions as he was on his way up to NWA. Because again, before you had WWE, all of the wrestling promotions had multiple ones across the nation. And of course, as big business occurs, and the lack. See, when we talk business, know that word means competition. We like to drown out the definitions of things, thereby taking away the real bite and the truth from something. Business is a competition, unfortunately. Right? One person has a certain good or service that they provide. Another person has a certain good or service that they provide, and because people refuse to share, here comes the word business. Because again, I can sell. This is what I mean in that movie Wonka, guys. It was real cool to see Willy Wonka just selling things at cost. Do you realize that if we would go closer to selling, I know the financiers on my podcast that may listen to this. No, KJ, so you ain't gonna make that. Listen, where there is demand, where there's greed is dictating things, guys and gals. This has nothing to do with what you think it is, and it changes the game when you add greed into it. Supply and demand. The same thing with work. As long as this planet keeps spinning, there's always something to work on, whether it's the grass, your house, a car, a boat. It doesn't matter what it is. And again, because greed dictates a certain thing, now you got to switch up how you pay a person. You got to switch up the type of people that you want in your business. We've messed the game up on a real level, guys. We got to come back to a serious spiritual base of honoring someone's gift and allowing them and again, because of the way it is now, you got to shift how you do things to protect yourself. This is why don't talk to me about defense and stuff like that and violence. You're being, no. You mean to hurt me. Yeah, I'm going to defend myself. That's how that works. Plain and simple. And I would suggest it for anyone else. Again, that's not supporting violence. That's supporting defense. Two different things. See, again, people again, that benign neglect. People like to not recognize the bully in the room. That's the problem. Too many people talk about the victim mentality and not the bully in the room. Here on this podcast, we mean to show you the bully in the room and let the chips fall where they may. So it was cool to see Sting. Great matches all around. I thought the one between any time that you get the Blackpool Combat Club. Some people may not know what I'm talking about, but with the wrestlers on here, we'll just a couple of minutes on this and then we'll go on. Versus FTR, which they have different things on that. Certain words we won't use on here, but basically it's about the revolution. They have other words that the FTR breaks down to. But it was cool to see. Very good to see. Very good match to watch. The love for Sting. He's gone a long time, man. It's been a long time through WCW, his little stint with WWE, which of course they didn't show in the AEW package. You can understand. It is the competition. So we get that. Thankfully, he was able to come back from his neck injury in the match that he had with Seth Rollins. So, and was able to go out on his own terms, because that's the goal in life. You want to go out on your own terms, not the ones they set for you. So, to those who have not, we offer up prayers and condolences and support of all types. But for those who have, congratulations, heartfelt congratulations. So that goes to the people who retire. They keep messing with retirement age. You get yourself they got it to the point now you're too old to even enjoy your retirement money you get for the hard work you put in, right? Because we talk about that hard work. I'm telling y'all, work to your benefit. And when they got that thing pushed all the way up there, how could it be? You're not telling me that life is so far advanced that we couldn't go from the 80s when the retirement age was lower, that now it has to be higher. And for people who support the thing, you can hear the excuses coming out their mouth a mile long. No, it's done on purpose because they don't want you with. Anyway, and for some odd reason, everybody thinks the only way to remedy this is to vote for a president every 4 years. You got to get more involved in your government than that. I'm sorry. There's a couple of nights where you won't be spending it at the Golden Corral. You won't be spending it in. We're going to use some eatery places from back in the day. Sizzler. You're not going to be. You're not going to be spending it in Sizzler, right? Those old enough on here, they'll remember Sizzler. Bring this episode up to your grandparents. Ask them who Sizzler was, right? Or your parents. Okay. You may be spending a few less nights playing Pokemon Go. Okay. You might have to play some catch-up games on the back end a night or two later. We're just saying what it is, guys, because, again, you want to have a world free where you can walk down the street and not worry about your life dying playing Pokemon Go. Then you're going to have to put that down and get in your townhouses and conference buildings all across this nation and start upholding the banner of truth and justice and start doing the voting on that level first before you put any chads or little chads when they went stupid over George Bush's election process. Man, they make a mockery out of this thing. But anyway, before you get to that level, the president thing is the side note. The real thing you want is your representatives, your senators, your town clerks. That's where you want to be involved in, because that's where the mess starts first. And then it bubbles up through into D.C. Again, people do this thing where the states and federal is that nope. All one big conglomerate just chopped up and presented to you like it's something different than what it is. So that's really that on that. Let's get into parenting here, because I've been jibber jabbering enough on this. So let's get into parenting. And a couple of verses. I know it's not the Sunday message. We're going to get a couple verses, etc. We left off last time talking about how you are it's the same thing in marriage. Like, the husband is the resource, wife is the resource, So when guys and gals get ticked off at, there's a level of usury. Okay. One of those notes that I had about relationships is that, matter of fact, I think it was when I was talking. Yeah. It's the next one. It's the next one dealing with sex. We'll see if we go there with sex and stuff like that. See, again, another one of these things. We're talking about this, I don't know if I mentioned it, but if I did or I didn't, whatever. The 60-minute thing with these moms of liberty worried about something what's explicit. I was talking about it before because I went into this whole thing about illiterate. Understand, the word explicit is just talking about something in detail. You got to know, again, it's a driving force. It's one of the forces of nature. Love's one, sex is another, food is one, drinking's another, air is another, right? Breathing, right? How life goes and sustains. See, again, go back into Genesis 2, and it tells you that humans are put there to keep. I know folks like to do the man thing, humans, okay? Humans are here. We are here to dress and keep the planet. And we do that as an honor and as a respect thing to the fact that we're here on the planet. because we didn't have to be here. See, again, people leave a certain spiritual base, so they don't, we throw this stuff out of when you're greedy, you throw this stuff out, right? But we didn't have to be here. The life we live is precious and should be treated as such. That, again, that's why when I mentioned it before, again, repetition is necessary for learning. Been a little while since I've said it. However, it's necessary. And in this case, stop downing your tree huggers and hippies and all that mess, guys. The planet, when they're talking about certain ones of these things, it's for real. The planet is we should be more involved in preserving this planet. You go back into history and see they used the natives, right? Them Indians that everybody calling everybody. Because we didn't know what name to put on them because we really didn't care for them that much anyway. So we just gave them a name that came to mind. You'd have been better off calling them apes at that point. Just saying what it is, guy. And again, I know people don't think this way because you are trained to sweep things under the rug. You got to keep this sickness going on. That's the only way. You can't hit it headlong, because if you drive right into it headlong, guess what's going to happen? It's going to stop going. You come to the logical conclusion a lot of this mess don't make sense, so now you'd be searching for what these people's names actually is, what these tribes would be. You'd start searching for that kind of stuff, as you should, because the names they were given is garbage. We ain't black. We got names. You're not white. You come from... Never mind. That's okay. We getting this all. No, I'm here. I'm American. You ain't American. The Americans were the ones that whose land was stolen from. Those are see. But again, you got to buy into a certain. Hey, that's all right. That's all right, man. This is what we do. So, you as the parent are the one. You are the resource of which the kids land and take off from repeatedly throughout your life, which is why the Bible talks about leaving inheritance to your children's children. This again, after you're dead and gone, same thing. This is why it's sad how they're splitting up who can get money and who can't. This is horrible here, because again, the world has been given as a big resource for what? Humans to dress and keep. When you look at the terms, I don't think I have them pulled up, but if I do, we'll use this tab. We'll use this one right here. Dress etymology. We're not even gonna go to the meaning. Well, well, just for fun. To put on clothes, right? Because this is how bad people. It's just, see, we're supposed to be putting clothes. This is not to make fun of anybody, guys. This is how bad they've got people thinking. You want to talk about, they think the black folk are the apes. Do you realize how many people think on a very base level? Certain things have just escaped them, and it's not just the youth. It's with everybody, because again, this mental conditioning is for everybody. It doesn't matter the age, man. They got the ages against each other, so it's just for the old the same as the. Never mind. Decorate something in an artistic or attractive way. That sounds better. Humans are here to decorate the planet in an artistic or attractive way, which is why y'all shouldn't be mad about music, because it is an artistic form that can be very attractive in all forms. See, again, before we started sexualizing with women and men across the board here, if we had a better understanding of sex, one, we probably wouldn't have done it, because we know it's being done to our harm. This goes for black folks. I've never had a chance to say this, but I'm going to say it now. This goes for black folks, homosexual folks, transgender folks, white folks, people who like alcohol, folks who like cannabis, folks who like sex. Anything that the current power structure can use to get you, they will use. That does not mean they really care about what you care about, okay? It means they want to use it to exploit you. You got to be careful. So now when you start to see certain things pop up in TV ads and all that kind of thing, while it is beginning to get the recognition that it is due, again, notice every one of those things I said. And I understand all the defenses in the mind for people of every one of those things I said. That includes women. Seeing women more featured in things, okay? not featured as sexual as they are, being featured as the goddesses they are. Again, I know people have a problem from a belief standpoint on whether there is a female god, if you will. Again, if everything is made after its own kind, their own kind, coming from the creator, hello, y'all, there's female there, okay? Again, because we have demonized the thing, and I said we, I didn't say God, because we have demonized the thing, we have canceled out the power of the thought that's there. Women just got much power as the men do. We need to come off the high horse. We have gone a little too far. Again, to each their own, but that's just that. With music, we have become too territorial. This is why the thing is two separate thoughts here. You want to tell me there's some level of infiltration of white people into hip hop? Because these are some of the things that come up here, okay? Again, it is, can you rhyme? Can you talk about society? Because see, mumble rap and gangster hip hop and all that part is not what started hip hop. What started hip hop was talking about the impropriety of the police inside communities. Which is why instead of saying F the police, I'm just going to be raw today, y'all. Instead of talking about F the police, we should have been talking about F the wrong white police. Those of European descent meant to use policing to hurt another group of people. That's what we're talking about. Because now what you do is you break down the idea of, hey, another black person should be, because again, each community should be able to police themselves. You know why? Because each community knows themselves the best. That does not mean you can't have crisscross over. See, again, this gets back into this whole thing with this interracial mess. See, but again, they don't want people coming together. So when you're not coming together, what you doing? You're fighting against each other. Stop letting them control you to fight against each other. And be more unified against that which actually is trying to hurt you. And you don't have to be violent about it. You have to be wise about it. Two totally different things. Let's dress to put straight, to arrange, to prepare. So when we poo-poo farmers and gardeners and the people necessary touching this earth, when we keep making fun of witches, because again, you don't understand the word being used there improperly to hurt folks. Now we on a witch hunt, literally hunting down the wrong folks of the actual people that are doing the witch hunt as a distraction to continue their power structure. But nobody paying attention to that. Man, don't folks see the play? Don't you see the play? It's the same thing. Somebody gets on something, they knock them down when they start talking about something, and the first thing comes out is their mental health. They're not crazy. They're not as crazy as what you think it is. They want you thinking they're crazy so that you don't listen to what they're saying. Because now, again, as soon as we put that word crazy in there, again, because of the lack of knowledge on mental health, here's what you go and you do. Not realizing most of the world is suffering from DID. I'm just looking at the definition of the word and what it's describing. Multiple personalities, people forgetting things, all that type. Yeah, the world suffers from serious levels of it. You made a whole thing saying Christopher Columbus discovered the Americas, when in reality he was in the islands. That's not the Americas. Hello? You see how big the landmass of the Americas is? Central, South, and North America. The islands. America. What? And yet, we do other things, like we're just going to drop this bomb on you. We won't talk about King Leopold. See, again, another one of them nations in Europe was Belgium. You know, right over there by Switzerland, where everybody is being neutral. See, again, when they talk that neutrality mess, man, you got to be careful. Are you really not involved? The Bible talks about how long you'll stay stuck between two thoughts. Got to be careful about that neutral thing. That's all right, you don't want to get involved, but understand the wheels are still turning just the same, and it don't mean it won't come back on you either. That's just the truth of it. You're still gonna have to make a stand one way or the other. So yeah, prepare and arrange. So humans were there for that. Let's go into the meaning of keep. Kind of obvious. Some people might already have certain thought, obviously keep, like keep it. Right? And you're partially right. You are partially right. See, many times a lot of this stuff is bits and pieces. See, again, like the way I say it, taking holy notions and twisting them, right? Have or retain possession of. This works real good for greedy folks because, yeah, mine precious. To take that from the Lord of the Rings. You're looking like some weird, deformed person holding on to something small, because that's really what it is. The $5 billion or whatever billions of dollars that these people have thinking they're holding on to it is very small to the totality of all of the resources this planet has. And they know it, and that's why greed constantly wants to keep going after, while the opposing force, if you're going to call it that, would be to share. Newsflash, you can't hold it all, but you can share it all. You can. You also can't hold most of it, but you can share most of it. Just a side thought. Cause to continue in a specific condition. So again, position or course. God makes it, go back into the verse, God makes all the stuff, plants, animals, all of the stuff other than humans. Knows there was no one to keep it, actually says it. So then God causes mist to come up from the ground to water the earth. This is where you get rain. This is where this comes from. This whole ecology. So again, while y'all down in this climate change thing, realize God put the climate in motion back then, which would change over time because again, the planet was already in autopilot. So it would have still kept running without humans. Again, God put them there for the human benefit as well as the planet. Doubles down on the thought by talking about men and women, where now men think that they're the thing, when in reality, you need the woman to help you because you need help. Same way, although the planet can go on, you need humans to help dress and keep it. Keep it in a certain condition. We are here as people to help each other look good, y'all. We look bad after a while. You know what I mean? Like, when you don't like, as for men and women, we both shave, y'all. Okay. Again, we're going to keep it all the way funky. You shave. Hey, when you stop shaving, guess what happened? You look kind of funky, don't you? You look nasty, man. You know what I mean? Now, again, we're talking about for those, some people love body hair. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to get on this podcast and start again, each person has their own deal, okay? While I might not like to show all my body hair like that, we don't want to come off like that. That's me. That might not be someone else, right? Again, though, to bring out this point, for those who do shave, okay, you start to, grass is looking like it needs to have a mow. Okay, you know what I mean? You got to get out there. You got to get that self-propelled mower out and start mowing. Oh boy, and that's what humans supposed to be here for. Not for us to sit here and plunder all of Africa for the cobalt, diamonds, and gold and silver that's under the earth there, when it belongs to the Creator, and you're told to dress and never mind. And you got Christians that's coming over from Belgium, missionaries coming over from Belgium to brainwash the Africans. I know that whenever you see things and I understand people constantly discredit, like, no, that didn't really happen. No, there's more blood on people's hands than what they mean to say or believe that happened. This stuff got like this, guys, very calculated, very planned, very purposefully. And again, for those who say they want change, you've got to be planned and calculated very purposefully. Again, just a thought. You got your young artists coming up. You got, talking about Sting with these wrestlers. You got young wrestlers coming up. Again, the game is still a game. The players may change, but the stage, all the world's a stage, right? The players are there. The young people, it's the thing. Older people, again, understand that the game is for the old to attack the young. That's the name. We just read it to you in the Willie Lynch letter. Now, if you think that's just with slavery, you are sadly mistaken. The Bible, Jesus talks about at the end times there, how you going to have father versus, you know what, we'll stop here. We'll stop here with this verse because, again, we've talked about a thing. I could go on and on and on with a whole lot of verses here, and we'll probably come back as we go over in time here because again, it's needing to be mentioned. Again, we'll probably from here we'll probably stop at 9. I may do 10 just as to keep it round, but let's just look this. Oh, this is a horrible. These are horrible things to watch out for, guys. You know, this verse. Just looking at the overview of it here before I read it to you, this is tough, guys. This is tough, man. But again, you know, when you got Jesus saying stuff, this is in Luke 12. You got Jesus saying things right off from the beginning. He began to say unto his disciples, first of all, man. Now, notice the people Jesus mentions. See, when folks talk that Jesus was not for like social stuff, y'all, they don't understand what they're saying. They don't. The idea is not just for this spiritual thing. And when you get to heaven, we talking about what's supposed to happen right here on planet Earth before you draw life's last breath. And it's funny when people do that ducking and dodging thing, they ain't worried about here. Everything you hear about the sweet by and by, what's coming. You know, you had a whole thing where people weren't even, especially back when I was growing up, like in the 80s and early 90s and stuff, before people started seeing more truth of the Bible that was hidden from them, because this thing has been one big old play holding people back to keep them illiterate. Hope y'all remember that word today. It ain't got nothing to do with reading and writing. It's got something to do with your understanding. How do you understand the thing? Your knowledge about something. The first thing Jesus talks about, first of all, beware ye of the leaven. Now, leaven dealt with what you put in bread to help it rise and all that, right? So beware the elements you put in your bread recipe, y'all. Beware, man, beware. And he names the Pharisees. Again, we're talking about the hierarchy. Jesus constantly knocked down specifically the religious hierarchy. Do you notice people are also involved in government? Look through world history. See, this is why don't come back and talk to me about what's anti-Semitic, man. This is a whole plot to destroy God. And you're going to sit there and talk to me. And yet those who truly call themselves Christians, you're going to walk in the way of Christ. This is what awaits you. It's about standing up against wrong, y'all. No matter where it's... Anyway. The leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Okay. Again, hypocrisy. I'll leave the word hypocrisy up for y'all to look up. And go on down. You just keep going on down. Now talking about what not to worry for, because you're going to be all right. If God is able to take care of birds and provide for them food every day, you're going to be all right. One way Kendrick Lamar said it is that we going to be all right. Okay? I whatever y'all want to say, however y'all want to look at it, we're going to be all right. Now, talking about the beginning. Remember, we're talking about the beginning of the end. This is not the end. This is the beginning of the end. So verse 52 in Luke chapter 12. From henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. Looks like one big old wrestling match, don't it? Again, for those who don't watch wrestling, they'll get it. Again, you just got it, or let's say it this way: a good bar fight on a Saturday night somewhere in some town, anywhere in America or on the planet, I guess. You have a beef with somebody, and like 14 other people join in. This is what it. And don't you know that's what life looked like? So we got this Ukraine-Russia thing going on. Then it now it spills over into this whole thing with Palestine and Israel, because again, people still got an impropriety level when they look at Palestinians. But we'll leave that alone. Then we go on from there, because see, the only thing people was looking at them before this battle was there was just a bunch of sand Negroes, right? Because that's one of the words they used for them. Same thing for Jewish folks when they're not being anti-Semitic, right? But we'll just let that pass because, it's the Palestinians. Forget the fact they come from Father Abraham. Never mind. So then we go on there with that. So now you got that spilled over there. You got everybody fleeing for their lives from all different places of the world that has been going on since the world's been spinning. So now you got and again, they need to flush out as many people as possible. So now you got these migrants coming in. Okay, this is what this is the idea behind this verse of multiple peoples and all the conflict all over the place, right? Break it down. Father shall be divided against son. Son shall be and son against the father. Again, you just re-say the same thing. So father shall be divided. The father be against the sons. Daddies and sons fighting. Lord knows you see it. Mother against the daughter. Daughter against, this is right here in this verse, y'all. Mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law. Now, listen, just because they name certain ones here, use your imagination and flip it around. Mother-in-laws versus son-in-laws. Son-in-laws versus mother-in-law. We're talking about infighting. Now, again, another verse in the Bible talking about context. Now, how will a house stand if it's divided like that? How does it work, y'all? Are you better than your creator? I know I'm not. I know I'm not. I know I'm not. And this is the adversary that causes this. The one that causes disunion. The one that causes disunion and heartache. So that's where we're going to stop today, y'all. Again, I hope y'all are having a good day. I hope y'all having a powerful day. This is a quick shout out to Spotify for podcasters for allowing its platform to speak. Shout out to my fans and listeners and my friends and my family that are along on this journey with me. You talk about going to that promised land, y'all. We on the way. I'm not saying I'm Moses. What I'm talking about is bringing people to a place where they can learn and gain knowledge and understanding that which has been hidden from them for some time now. Bringing light to some dark places. So that's what I got for y'all today. Thank you very much for walking this journey, this road with me today. And as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.